What is up YouTube? It's Kingfisher745, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at the Blaster Hybrid. And since the first video of this series did most of the explaining, we're just going to jump right into our setup. The Blaster class of course is Hybrid's default, and as such, we get 2 empowered ISO 8 slots. So there are a lot of combinations that you can use, and ultimately it will come down to your team up, but for my setup and for this video, we're going with the Genetic Memory Empowered ISO 8, and this is going to grant him Symbiotic Synergy. Symbiotic Synergy grants him an increase to accuracy, attack, defense, and evasion. We've equipped it to Hybrid since we're not using Agent Venom or Anti-Venom, and then even though he has many other amazing E-ISO that you could use, I'm actually going with the Unavoidable Empowered ISO 8. It's just often a great choice for any blaster because it does give their attacks Ethereal Strike. Then as far as my regular ISO 8 setup, I am going with the old familiar orange. So we have 4 Forceful ISO 8, attack, defense, and accuracy, and 4 bulky. I feel like you can never have too much attack and defense. The accuracy part could be debatable, especially with the genetic memory. By the way, Stalwart isn't a bad option either, especially in this level cap tournament. But then as far as AISO, since we're not concentrating on bleeds with this team, we decided to go with the Pin Down AISO. This applies pin cushion to the enemy so they'll take extra damage from counter and follow-up attacks. This augmented ISO 8 will actually work pretty well with the teammate that we're going to use. So that's what we have on our level 1 Riot, and now for our level 2 Agony, we're going to be applying Pain. We get this from the Agonizing AISO, which causes malicious intent. You could go with the Quilled, but like I said, I'm not concentrating on bleed, and I wanted to try out something different. So that's our level 2 ability, and then for our level 6 we're using one of my favorite AISO for Hybrid. This is going to cause Phage to apply to power. So we get this from the Debilitating AISO. Once the enemy is depowered, they can no longer apply statuses. That will come in extremely handy in any PvP match. Often that's going to be the easiest choice for any ability. And then finally on Lasher we're going to apply Flanked, and we get this from the Shifting AISO. This is also going to work in conjunction with our level 1 AISO, and I do believe it's going to work quite well for our team up. So with all that being said, the only thing left to do is to check out this build in a PvP match. For Hybrid's teammate, we're going to be using one of my favorite heroes when it comes to applying and taking advantage of opportunist debuffs. That hero is none other than Wasp. And for our match, we are taking on a very formidable Pestilence Beast and Gamora team. Now since Beast is up first, what we're going to do is go ahead and depower him. And yes, even the mighty Horseman of Pestilence is going to be stopped from using debuffs. Now trust me, I know we're giving him an extra turn, but he would most likely get that anyways from attacking Hybrid. This way he is much more harmless, and not only that, Wasp is going to be counterattacking quite a bit. Right now he can't apply off balance to stop her, and also his Mask of the Red Death is absolutely worthless. So here you're seeing a Wasp that has no debuffs whatsoever. Beast on the other hand isn't so lucky. He even has Creeping Infestation, and it's causing Hybrid Infestation so he's unable to use melee abilities. So that's why he had to recharge. That's a pretty awesome start to our match, but now we're going to go ahead and use the Fire Tornado, and then after we exhaust the enemies we're going to go ahead and use the Neuro Purge. Then for our final first round action with our agent, I'm going to use the Ex-Oblivion. And yes, it's still quite good especially for this team up, even though it's the only Horseman set we have equipped. The reason for that is because it does have Opportunist as its default, and that's really all we need. After this turn we pretty much set up the entire enemy team for Hybrid and Wasp. Oh, and would you look here, the enemy agent has the Ablative Helmet. So apparently he was going to try to hit us with the GG prototype over and over again. Too bad for them, we've completely shut him down. And next, with Wasp, we could use a Fist Bump, but instead we're going to use the Skirmish Scramble, which is usually what we start out with. I mean, why break from tradition, and it does give her Nimble even though guaranteed hit is still going to land. Luckily for us, Beast isn't a Guardian. So that's one bright spot, but we are most likely going to take him out first. Still, on Hybrid's turn we're going to use another AoE attack, and this time we're going with Lasher. It's going to apply fumbling and flanked. So talk about a mighty ability. That really is amazing. Hey, and speaking of Pestilence Beast not having guaranteed hit, he misses most of those attacks from his Jekyll and Hyde. With my agent, once again we're going to exhaust, making sure that they don't use any ridiculous items like the GG prototype over and over again, and then after that I'm just going to use the Blackest Void. I know for an empowered tactician agent we don't have any weapon that we can use every turn, so we are going to miss out on maximizing our momentary advantage. But still, I do like this setup and it works out quite well. Then seeing how the enemy beast is so heavily debuffed, it's about time to use our fist bump. This can do quite a bit of damage, but right here it only hits for 4,000. Plus we do get a follow-up bioenergy blast. Then all I'm hoping for the enemy Gamora's turn is that she doesn't use Demoralizing Shout. Even better, she ends up hitting her own teammate. So now Hybrid can easily finish him off, and all we have to do is use our level 1 Riot. Right after we take out Pestilence Beast, we can clear all our debuffs with our agent on our next turn. But once again, let's not forget to use Fire Tornado. Then I think an Improbability Field is exactly what we need. And since that's a quick action, we can also use the Light Fantastic. So that's certainly one great thing about using the Empowered Tactician uniform, even with this setup. Meanwhile, we're completely ruining their Tactician costume. And truthfully, we have to because we do have a Blaster. So Gamora and Beast would have been getting extra turns the whole time. That's the only downside to using the Blaster Hybrid. So if you have the weather control device, you will be one step ahead. And once again, the enemy uses the helmet, which is pretty much a complete waste. So with Wasp, the plan is to knock him down within Hybrid's range to take him out. And a fist bump should certainly do that. So let's go ahead and let him have it. It won't do a ton of damage, but we don't need it to. And at below 10k health, Hybrid should easily finish him off. Now the enemy Gamora, after taking dot damage, does attack our Hybrid, and that's going to cause Wasp to counter with a Buzzkill. So now both enemies are below 10k, and we easily have this match in hand. Alright, it does look like Hybrid's going to come up just short, but with all those dots there's no way the enemy agent's going to make it to his turn. Plus with our agent we're going to use the Fire Tornado once again, and it does do a slight amount of damage. Actually though, you know what? We have the Atom Smasher, so this fight is definitely over. The Neuro Purge wasn't even needed, but why not? And so with this attack, we're going to come to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed the build, as well as the team up with Wasp, and our pretty solid win against a 21k Beast and Gamora team. In the very next video of this series, we will be covering the Infiltrator, so make sure you stay tuned for that one. Lastly, I want to thank you all for watching and ask you to please like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, good luck and take care.